All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the manifesto of the UIC. All right, listen. As a uniter, we seek to create one Jamaica, united, strong, and free. We will create a non-partisan constitutional republic of Jamaica that is not divided by class, color, community, or party. A true republic that protects the life, liberty, and property rights of all citizens equally, and where everyone may live, earn, and retire with dignity in a safe, clean, and orderly society. A real new Jamaica. Protecting the life, liberty, and property of every citizen equally is the essential precondition for a free, fair, and prosperous society. Without this protection, there can be no peace, only corruption, poverty, and crime. Man, amen. You know what I'm saying? We will abolish the use of force and fraud from all human relationships, as it is the only through voluntary, mutual, beneficial exchange that we may enjoy true peace and prosperity in our homes, community, and country. Consequently, we will defend the right of everyone to engage in any activity that is peaceful, honest, and welcome the diversity, creativity, and prosperity that true individual liberty or freedom brings. The society we seek to build is one where individuals are free to follow their dreams in their own ways without interference from the government or any authoritarian power, provided they do not initiate force or use fraud to infringe on the life, liberty, and property of others. The following are basic principles of our policy that flows from them. Our goal is nothing more or less than a society where all are truly free to realize their full potential in a safe, clean, and orderly Jamaica. And it is to this end that we take these stands. Statement of principle. We, the members of the United Independent Congress of Jamaica, that's what UIC stands for, United Independent Congress of Jamaica, right? Hereby challenge the moral authority of the omnipotent state to initiate force and use fraud against the citizens of Jamaica. Let me read that again. We, the members of the United Independent Congress of Jamaica, the UIC, hereby challenge the moral authority of the omnipotent state to that's not initiate. That's not initiate. That's initiate. That's not initiate. Force. Initiate force. Well, yeah. Initiate force or use fraud against the citizens of Jamaica. So they're challenging them that use force or fraud against the citizens of Jamaica. And we defend the inherent national born right of every individual to be free. We hold that as individuals have the right to exercise sole dominion over their own lives, bodies, and just acquired property, and thus have the right to live in whatever manner they choose, so as long as they do not forcibly interfere with the equal rights of others to live in whatever manner they choose. I like that. I like that. I like that. I think that's fair. Let me scroll up. Government throughout history have regularly operated on the opposite principle, that the state has the right to interfere with and dispose of the lives of individuals and the fruits of their labor. All political parties in Jamaica except the UIC grant to the government the right to relegate the lives of individuals and seize the fruits of their labor without consent. Recently, this is happening here in Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen. All right? No joke. We, on the contrary, deny the right of any government. Basically, the UIC position is to take the rights, take the power from the government and give back to the people in their constitution and everything. That is their goal. To 100% give. Say, for instance, somebody is not performing well and the people decide they should go. And there is a petition and a rally towards that. That person has to leave office. That's the type of democracy we need, in my opinion. All right? We, on the contrary, deny the right of any government to do these things and hold that where government exists, they may not violate the rights of any individual, namely the right to live. Accordingly, we support the prohibition of initiation of physical force against others, the right to liberty of speech and action. Accordingly, we oppose all attempts by the government to abridge the freedom of speech and press, as well as government censorship in any form. Recently, the Prime Minister, in my opinion, threatened the freedom of speech of vloggers. Recently, a member of the same social media platforms that support the JLP made threats to several social media platforms and individuals. So much so that one of them, Mr. Rattigan from the channel Reasoning with Rattigan, basically filed a complaint to is it the United States and the FBI? Yeah. He says he's in fear of his life. Like, this is what's going on in Jamaica. I did a video on it. Y'all can go check it out. All right. The right to property, and that was the video that hit 7,000 views, almost 8,000 views. The letter that I reviewed about Mr. Rattigan. All right. That's the video that sparked this growth that is on my channel right now. Whereas we are now at 834 subscribers. I mean, literally on this stream, I'm getting subscribers as I speak. That's what's going on, right? Right here, the right to property. Accordingly, we suppose all government interference with private property, such as confiscation, nationalization, and eminent domain, and support the prohibition of robbery, trespass, fraud, and misrepresentation. Now, confiscation, nationalization. Now, in Jamaica, you can't own land. I believe that's foolishness, so I'm not with that. So any efforts by the UIC to change that, I'm with that. All right, I'm totally with it. So shout out to the UIC on that. Since governments, when instituted, must not violate individual rights, we oppose all interference by government in the area of voluntary contractual relations among individuals. People should not be forced to sacrifice their life or property for the benefits of others. Charity must be voluntary, not forced for it to be charity. That is facts. That is facts. People should be left free by the government to deal with one another as free traders. Free traders, meaning you own and you can trade as you like, not being forced to give up your land to have this road run through it. Who by the law may not use force or fraud to get there. And so they're talking about make sure they put the law together so they can't do it. All right. And the resultant economic system, the only one compatible with the protection of individual rights, is the free market. All right. Personal liberty. It says right here, let me just zoom in for y'all. Individuals are inherently free to make choices for themselves and must accept responsibility for the consequences of the choices they make. Our support of an individual's right to make choices in life does not mean that we necessarily approve or disapprove of those choices. No individual, group, or government may rightly initiate force against another individual, group, or government. Uniters, that part. Yeah. No individual, group, or government may rightly initiate force against another individual, group, or government. Uniters reject the notion that groups have inherent rights. We support the rights of the smallest minority, the individual. 2. Self-ownership. Individuals own their bodies and have rights over them. This is key because remember in the pandemic when they were forcing or trying to force that stuff on us? This is key. Individuals own their bodies and have the right over them. That other individual, groups, and government may not violate. Individuals have the freedom and responsibility to decide what they knowingly and voluntarily consume. Bingo! And what risk they accept to their own health, finances, safety, or life. This video will be tagged into by the UIC, and I hope my Jamaican people, y'all don't like to read, so I'm going to read for you. Expression and communication. We support full freedom of expression and oppose government censorship, regulation, or control of communication, media, and technology. We favor the freedom to engage in or abstain from any religious activity. So therefore they're saying if you don't want to engage in these religious activity, you're more than welcome to do so. All right? The government is not going to play God. All right? That's up to you. You can engage or not, right? And I believe that that should be so. Okay? Because if you're in a school and it's a Christian school, and that person is Muslim, it doesn't mean that that person should be, shunned or, discriminated because they don't believe what you believe. You understand what I'm saying? I don't believe that that should be so. All right? I really don't. It says here, we favor the freedom to engage or abstain in religious activities that do not violate the rights of others. We oppose government actions which either aid or attack any religion. Bingo! I appreciate that as well. Privacy. This is a big one because privacy has been violated in this government of recent, and the privacy of the opposing leader, Mr. Mark Golden. Can you believe it? Sheesh. Uniters advocate individual privacy and government transparency. Government transparency. We are committed to ending the government's practice of spying on everyone. Yes, Lord. Can I get a hallelujah? We support the rights to be secure in our persons, homes, property, and communications. Protection from unreasonable search and seizure should include records held by third parties such as bank accounts, emails, medical, and liberal records. Totally agree. Parents' rights. Parents or other guardians have the right to raise their children according to their own standards and beliefs, provided that the rights of the children to be free from abuse and neglect are also protected. I like that. Crime and justice. Government force must not be limited to the protection of the rights of individuals to life, liberty, and property. And government must never be permitted to violate these rights. Laws should be limited in their application to violations of the rights of others through force and fraud. 2. Let me go across here so y'all can see some better. Or to deliberate actions that place others involuntarily at significant risk of harm. Therefore, we favor the appeal of all laws creating crimes without victims, such as gambling, the use of drugs, or medicinal and recreational purposes. On consensual transactions and consensual transactions involving sexual services. Wait a minute. Deliberate actions. Laws should be limited in their application to violation of the rights of others, should force, fraud, deliberation actions, and place others involuntarily at significant risk or harm. Therefore, we favor the repeal of all laws creating crime without victims, such as gambling, the use of drugs for medicinal, recreational purposes, and consensual transaction involving sexual services. Oh, consensual. Okay. We support restitution to the victim to the fullest degree, possibly at the expense of the criminal or the negligent wrongdoer. Say that again. Say that again. We support restitution to the victim to the fullest degree, possible at the extension of the criminal or negligent wrongdoer. The constitutional right of the criminal accused, including due process, a speedy trial, legal counsel, trial by jury, and a legal presumption of innocence until proven guilty, must be preserved. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Michelle, how you doing? Salute to you, love. Appreciate you pulling up on me, girl. Remember to smash the like button. Ballhead Wayne still in the goddamn building. Appreciate you, my brother T-Rail. What it do, man? I ain't seen you, man. I've been reading like crazy, man. I can't even look at the chat like that. But let's continue. This is the UIC right here. The third official party in Jamaica. This is their manifesto, and I'm going through it. I'm going to post this video, especially for all my Jamaicans out there. Lord have mercy. That don't like to read. Yes, Lord. Hope you can listen. We assert that the common law right of juries to judge not only we assert the common law right of juries to judge not only the facts, but also the justice of the law. We oppose the prosecutorial practice of overcharging in criminal prosecutions to avoid jury trials by intimidating defendants into accepting plea bargains. Yes! Yes! I'm loving this. Yes! Number seven, the death penalty. We oppose the admission of the death penalty by the state. Only an infallible God can ensure that the party pronounced guilty is guilty. Oh my God. Yes, Lord. The death penalty is irreversible, and as such is an unwise power to vest in the hands of any man or woman. God damn, talk about it. Talk about it. Yes. Yes. The only legitimate use of force is the defense of individual rights. Life, liberty, justice acquired, property against aggression. This right inheres in the individual, who may agree to be aided by any other individual or group. We affirm the individual right to responsibly keep and bear arms and oppose the prosecution of individuals for exercising their right to self-defense. So According to this, we have the right to bear arms. Yo, this is huge. I like this. I like this. I like this. Oh yeah, I like this. We need to get, yes sir. Jamaica needs that, boy. Economic liberty. Uniters want all members of the society to have abundant opportunities to achieve economic success. A free and competitive market allocates resources in the most efficient manner. Each person has the right to offer goods and services to others in the free market. The only proper role of government in the economic realm is to protect property rights, addition, adjudice, Lord have mercy, adjudicate, adjudicate disputes. I don't know why that word was such a tongue tie. Adjudicate disputes and provide a legal framework in which voluntary trade is protected. All efforts by government to redistribute wealth or to control or manage trade are improper in a free society. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. This is property and contract. We got Selena in the building. How you doing, love? Salute. He said, what it do, player? Property and contract. As respect for property rights is fundamental to maintain a free and prosperous society, it follows that freedom to contract, to obtain, to retain, profit from, manage, or dispose of one's property must also be upheld. Uniters, that's what they call themselves, the United Independent, you know what I'm saying? So they call themselves uniters. Uniters would free property owners from government property taxes and the restrictions of their rights to control and enjoy their property, as long as their choices do not harm or infringe on the rights of others. Eminent domain, civil assets for forfeiture, governmental limits of profits, government production mandates, and government control on prices of goods and services include wages, rents, and interest are abridgments of such fundamental rights. For voluntary dealing amongst private entities, parties should be free to choose with whom they trade and set whatever trade terms are mutually agreeable. Basically, this manifesto is taking away all the power from the government and allowing us to have free trade, so we can have, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what I want to do, and if it works out, it works out. I understand the value of my property. This is what I want to rent it for, and these are the things I require. And the government is not in it. You're good. You do you. As long as it doesn't harm anybody, you do you. All right. I love that. I love that. Let's continue. Environment. Competitive free markets and property rights stimulate the technology, innovation, and behavioral changes required to protect our environment and ecosystem. Private landowners and conservation groups have a vested interest in maintaining natural resources. Governments are unaccountable for damage done to our environment and have a terrible track record when it comes to environmental protection. The recent situation that's going on in the cockpit country, the cutting down of the mahogany trees, is a perfect example of that. Moving right along. The governments are unaccountable for damage to our environment and have a terrible track record when it comes to environmental protection. Protecting the environment requires a clear definition and enforcement of individual rights and responsibilities regarding resources like land, water, air, wind life. Where damages can be proven and quantified in court of law, restitution to the injured parties must be required. Man, listen, I'm loving every part of this goddamn manifesto. What? Energy and resources. While energy is needed to fuel the modern society and the government should not be subsidizing any particular form of energy, we oppose all government control of energy, pricing, allocation, and production. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, that the UIC president was the first one to come out and talk about turning Jamaica into a republic? And then all of a sudden, here comes the government. Yes, the republic, the republic. But what he's trying to do and the way he's trying to do it is totally opposite from their process. Like Marvin Mallow, I said Marvin Mallow, Miss Mallow said. I probably need to review that goddamn town hall meeting tonight. That's probably what I'm going to look at, because that is ridiculous. Lord have mercy. I was so upset. Government, finance, and spending. All persons are entitled to keep their fruits of their labor and spend their earnings as they see fit. To this end, uniters will limit the government to revenues of no more than 10% of all individual earning to fund spending on public goods and services that will ensure a safe and clean and orderly environment wherein everyone may live, work, and retire with dignity in a truly free and fair market economy. 2. Fundamental humanitarian crises, including the proper nutrition, education, healthcare, and housing of the poor. Uniters propose that the government collect a sale tax of 10%, which shall be designated for these purposes only. No child should be denied the benefit of basic education, free education, good nutrition, food, decent housing, or health care. The parents or father and mother must be held accountable by the child, not suffer in the process. Hello? Protecting the kids now. So they want to profit. They want to give the tools of the give tools to Jamaicans to profit immensely, but then they're going to hold us accountable to make sure that our kids are properly nourished, educated. There's no excuses. They're giving you the resources to do this. Ball head said, I'm so jealous. My daughter is trying to get into medical school and she's killing my bank account. LOL, no vacations for me. Shout out to Ball Head Wade, man. You funny, bro. Hey, it is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? All right, government debt. The government should not incur debt at interest, but should instead operate on a balanced budget, formally of 10% of the income generated by residents, and print only as much money as can be absorbed by true productive growth, while protecting the purchasing power of senior citizens by avoiding artificial inflation and devaluation and deflation at all costs. Basically, this man is an economist. He worked in the Canadian government, Mr. Patterson of the UIC, so he knows how this works. All right. So yeah, that's that. Hey, listen, man. This is a well put together manifesto. Government employees. We favor repealing any requirement that one must join or pay dues to a union as a condition of government employment. We favor repealing any requirement that one must join or pay dues to a union as a condition of government employment. We advocate replacing defined benefits pension with defined contribution plans as are commonly offered in private sector, so as not to impose debt on future generations without their consent. Government employees. Easy covering everything, god damn it. I don't know how much more is left, but I'm going through it. Lord have mercy. Government regulations. Economic freedom is one of many catalysts for true prosperity in societies. We recognize this and thus move to empower the government regulatory role by ensuring that no force, fraud, or breaking of just and objective laws goes unpunished. Meaning impeachment, Miss Malahoo. Your government wants to remove impeachment from the Constitution. We, as the Jamaican people, are asking for accountability, and you try to remove impeachment. You, the Jamaican Labour Party that's in government, man, vote for the UIC, man. I'm saying it right now. Lord have mercy. Vote for the UIC. The 75%, no, the 70%, no, the 65% of Jamaicans that don't want to vote Labour Right or PMP, make sure y'all get your ASS up and vote for the UIC. After watching this video and seeing this manifesto and go reading it yourself and understanding what he's saying, go vote for the UIC. But be informed. Be informed. Let's continue. Renter Dad in the building. What's going on? KB to the story that Obama didn't. Yeah, I talked about that already. Yeah, I talked about that already. Yeah. I talked about that already. That she was not endorsed by Obama. Yes, Lord. But let's continue. Money and financial markets. We favor free market banking with unrestricted competition amongst banks and depository institutions of all types. Markets are not free unless fraud is vigorously combated. Fraud. He keeps talking about fraud. That is what you call corruption. Corruption does not help the economy. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't help the people. All right? We need a free market. All right? Those who enjoy the possibility of profits must not impose risk of losses upon others, such as through government guarantors, guarantees, or bailouts. All these investors that come in Jamaica and get these bailouts, tax cuts. We support ending student loan guarantees and special treatment for student loan debt in bankruptcy proceedings. Individuals engaged in voluntary exchange should be free to use as money any mutual agreeable commodity or item. We support and halt of inflationary monetary policies that unconstitutional legal tender laws. Unconstitutional legal tender laws. Say that 3 times. Market freedom. United support free market. We defend the right of an individual to form corporations, cooperatives, and other types of entities based on voluntary association. We oppose all forms of government subsidies and bailouts to business, labor, or any other special interest. The government should not compete with private enterprise. Man, listen. Hey, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Oh, I'm almost there. We're at licensing. Uniters support the right of every person to earn an honest and peaceful living through a free and voluntary exchange of goods and services. Accordingly, we oppose occupational and other license laws that infringe on the rights or treat it as state grant privilege. We encourage certification by voluntary association of professionals. All right. Labor market. Employment and compensation agreements between private employers and employees are outside the scope of government. These contracts should not be encumbered by government mandated benefits or social engineering. We support the right of private employers and employees to choose whether or not to bargain with each other through a labor union. Bring back the labor union. Yes, I love it. Bargaining should be free of government interference, such as compulsory arbitration or imposing an obligation to bargain. Man, listen. Let's go to education. Education is best provided by the free market, achieving greater quality, accountability, and efficiency with more diversity of choice. Recognizing that education of children is an parental responsibility, we would restore authority to the parents to determine the education of their children without interference from government. Parents should have control of the responsibility for all funds expended for their children's education. Okay. Healthcare. We favor a free market healthcare system as opposed to the existing system that does not support freedom of choice. Like in the pandemic. We recognize the freedom of individuals to determine the level of we recognize the freedom of individuals to determine the level of health care that level of health insurance they want, if any. The level of health care they want, the care provider they want, the medicines and treatments they will use, and all other aspects of their medical care, including end-of-life decision. People should be free to purchase health insurance from whom as they see fit. Listen, this is a total transfer of power to the people. This whole manifesto is pointing towards the power to the people. The protection of individual rights is the only proper purpose of the government. This is about securing liberty, right? I say again, the protection of the individual's rights is the only purpose of the government. Government is to be constitutionally limited. I say that again. Government should be constitutionally limited. This present government in Jamaica right now has too much power constitutionally. They need to be constitutionally limited to prevent the infringement of individual rights by the government itself. The principle of non-initiation of force should guide the relationship between governments. The principle of what? Non-initiation of force should guide the relationships between governments. Retirement and income security. Retirement planning. Listen, I don't know. There's no retirement plan in Jamaica. I could tell you all that right now, ladies and gentlemen. There is none. Absolutely none. Retirement planning is the responsibility of the individual, not the government. Uniters would phase out the current government sponsor system and transition to a private voluntary system. The proper and most effective source of help for the poor is the voluntary efforts of private groups and individuals. All right? We believe members of society will become even more charitable, and civil society will be strengthened as the government reduces its activities in the realm. Again, giving the power and responsibility back to the people. Lord have mercy. We support, this is national defense. We support the maintenance of the sufficient military to defend our country against aggression. We should both avoid entangling allegiance and oppose any attempt by any country to act as a policeman for the world. Wait a minute, say that again. We should both avoid entangling alliances and oppose any attempt by any country to act as a policeman for the world. Globalism. He's not with it. He's not with it. We oppose any form of compulsory national service. International security and individual rights. The defense of the country requires that we have adequate intelligence to detect and to counter threats to domestic security. This requires this requirement must not take priority over maintaining the civil liberties of our citizens. Whew. Internal security and individual rights. Lord have mercy. This is very detailed. The Constitution and Bill of Rights shall not be suspended even during a time of war. I say that again. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights shall not be suspended even during a time of war. Intelligence agencies that legitimately seek to preserve the security of the nation must be subject to oversight and transparency. We oppose the government's use of secret classifications to keep the public information that it should have, especially that which shows that the government has violated the law. Yes, we need transparency. We oppose the use of torture or any other cruel and unusual punishment without exception. Damn. They ain't playing with this one. Internal affairs. Beautiful one. What's going on? What's going on, beautiful one? Salute, salute, salute. How you doing, love? Why are they making it hard to chat, Bolo? What do you mean, beautiful one? Who's making it hard to chat? You mean, what's going on? Talk to me. Talk to me. International affairs. The Jamaican foreign policy should seek a Jamaica at peace with the world. Our foreign policy should emphasize defense against attack from abroad and enhance the likelihood of peace by avoiding foreign entanglements. We oppose any policy of foreign intervention, including military and economic aid. We recognize the rights of all people to resist tyranny and defend themselves and their rights. We condemn the use of force and especially the use of terrorism. What's going on? What's going on, beautiful one? Talk to me. What happened? I don't understand. I thought Jamaica was under the British ruling. Oh, yeah. This one I'm reading right here is the manifesto of the UIC and what they want to put into place when they get into power. That's what I'm reading right now. All right, let's continue. It says, we condemn the use of force, especially the use of terrorism against the innocent, regardless of whether such acts are committed by government or by political or revolutionary groups. No matter who it is, no form of terrorism will be allowed. We recognize the rights of all people to resist tyranny and defend themselves and their rights. All right. I hope everything is good with beautiful one. Oh, it's okay? Okay. All right. Free trade and migration. We support the removal of governmental impediments to free trade, political freedom, and escape from tyranny. Demand that individuals are not unreasonably constrained by government in the crossing of political boundaries. Economic freedom demands the unrestricted movement of humans as well as financial capital across national borders. Keeping it tight there, boy. Hey, I like that. I like pause.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Hey, no Diddy, man. No Diddy.
Self-determination. Oh, have mercy. I messed up on that one. Self-determination. Wherever any form of government becomes destructive of individual liberty, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to agree to such new governance as to them shall seem most likely to protect their liberty. So This right here is the right in law of the Jamaican people. With this manifesto, would be able to abolish a government that is attacking their civil liberty. Man, I love that, boy. Oh, you had to wait. I forgot you got all these channels. What the hell going on with Beautiful One? Beautiful One, you know I've been using this channel for a while. Love. You know what I'm saying? And we are close to monetization because I'm going closer and closer to 1,000 subs. You know what I'm saying? We now at, I think it's 834. Let me see real quick. It keeps changing, so I gotta look. It's 835 now. See? There you go. Rights and discrimination. Let's go. Rights and discrimination. Uniters embrace the concept that all people are born with certain inherent rights. We reject the idea that a natural right can ever be imposed an obligation upon others to fulfill that right. The government should never deny nor abridge any individual's human rights. Members of private organizations retain their rights to set whatever standards of association they deem appropriate, and individuals are free to respond with ostracism, boycotts, and other free market solutions. So basically, an organization can have their own laws. Like, say for instance, if you're a Rasta, you can't work there. And then what they're saying is, oh, you thought you was subscribed? Oh, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know what happened, love. But to be honest with you, I don't put no timer. I don't put no timer on the you know what I'm saying, on the subscription. It's subscriber only. All you got to do is subscribe, and then you can talk. You can text immediately. I'm glad you figured it out, because boy, I wouldn't want you to be thinking that you was somehow blocked or something. You know you royalty over here, so shit. Anyway, moving right along, it says the government should never deny or abridge any individual's human rights, members of private okay. I did explain that. And individuals are free to respond through boycotts and any other free markets. Yep. I think right here. Oh, here we are. Omission or silence about any other particular government law, regulation, ordinance, directive, edict, control, regulatory agencies, activities, or machination should not be construed to imply approval. Okay. So basically, they have not spoke on certain things. All right. This is the last part of it. We are counting down for a real new Jamaica. 400 days. Let me read this real quickly as possible. True representative. We support non-partisan election system and representatives of the electorate at all levels. All candidates must run and stand as independent for united independent Congress and should not be funded by any other person, group, or party. The UIC only takes funding from the people. The people donate to them. They don't take it from private entities. All right? Just something that you guys should know. Each candidate, once nominated by local constituents only, shall be given equal access to the media, town halls, and public debates if they meet eligibility criteria of age, knowledge, and experience to serve. Members of their representatives' constituency will be the only nominators, and the constituents will be the only support group behind the candidates, who must also live in the geographical area that they seek to represent. So the actual, hey, how you doing, Miss Genesis? What this is saying is that the actual candidate for a particular area has to live in the area. I think that's good, because how can they really understand what the people need if they are not experiencing it themselves? I think that's dope. It says here, members of their respective constituency will only be nominators, and constituents will only support groups behind the candidates, who must also live in the geographical area that they seek to represent. The UIC electoral system will recognize no party colors, symbols, or seating in the process or the structure of our governance. I've been saying this even of recently. It is time for us Jamaicans to put down the colors. We should vote for individuals that are the right people for the job. We should vote for we should have nominees that are qualified for the job, that have experience, right? That the people believe in, that the people know. There are too many times you see they putting candidates in positions that the people in the area just don't know. But because there's a culture of blindly, die-heartedly following a certain party, whoever they're given, they vote for them because they are associated with the party. I do not believe it should be so. I like what they're saying here. Shout out to the UIC. Shout out to the third party of Jamaica. There will be no provisions, implicit or explicit, for political parties, partisan politics, or any other form of group or division. Instead of a parliament, we should establish a non-partisan state with a Congress of independents, meaning there's going to be a whole bunch of independent candidates that people vote in to be the minister of this, the minister of that, right? Instead of having a party, it's going to be non-partisan. I love this. I absolutely love this. All right? I'm on my new phone. Sorry if I missed anyone. Still trying to work it out. Shout out to Miss Genesis, ladies and gentlemen. I know, right, into that. That's right. I know, that's right. All right, it says here, this Congress will have a president elected nationally, 3 vice presidents, one elected by each county. So there's 3 counties in Jamaica, I believe. Middlesex, Surrey, and another one. So there's going to be 3 vice presidents elected by each county. 14 senators, 1 elected by each parish. I like that. And 33 or more representatives, 1 elected for each constituency or district. I love that. So the voting process is going to be something that Jamaicans really need to think about. It's going to be, we're going to vote for the president. We're going to vote for who's going to be the 3 vice presidents. We're also going to vote for the 14 senators, and that's for each parish. So you're going to have multiple, according to the UIC document I'm reading right here, you're going to have 14 different elections for the senators. So there's going to be multiple people running for senator in those areas. Right? In those parishes. Then there's going to be 33 or more representatives elected for each constituency or district. Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. Thank you so much, Chrissy. Exactly. Those are the 3 counties. I forgot Cornwall. My bad. Listen, I wasn't so good at social studies. You got to forgive me. I don't remember everything from school. Lord have mercy. But I'm glad I got bright people in the chat to assist me. Thank you so much. That is why I'm not a teacher and you guys are not students. We learn from each other. All right. The executive branch, consisting of the president, the general secretary, and the treasury secretary, elected on the presidential ticket. The executive branch, consisting of the president, the general secretary, and the treasury, elected on the presidential ticket, plus the 3 vice president, will nominate the heads of departments or secretaries, formerly ministers of government. Oh, so between the president, the general secretary, the treasury, and the 3 vice president, that's 6 people together, they will elect the departments, the heads of departments or secretaries, which was formerly known, would be changed from ministers of government. So they're the one that would elect them, who will then be vetted by the public. Then who will be then vetted publicly by the Senate and voted in or out by the House of Representatives. I like this process. I like this process, man. This is a well thought out process, man. Man, shout out to the UIC, man. I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm gonna post this. I'm glad I'm doing this. Oh yeah, this is Marathon Mondays, ladies. I am not done. Share the live. All right, we're gonna get into another video after this. All right. These heads of departments will not be elected politicians, but rather highly qualified Jamaicans in their areas of responsibility, recruited from anywhere they might be in the world. Oh, wow. Once elected to office by the House of Representatives, they may only be removed by the same process. A request from the executive, public review by the Senate, and a vote by the House of Representatives. This process also applies to the judiciary. Here's pretty much how it would look. You know what I'm saying? The diagram, you got what? The UIC Constitution of Jamaica, the rule of law, the people as a sovereign, non-participant, publicly funded campaign, and direct election by residents, ensures constitutionality of rules and laws, 2 or 3 vote in the Senate, House of and referendum. Then you got 14 senators, the president, vice president, 3 vice president, 33 representatives, vetted nominees, recommended change to and vote laws. You got the executives, elected president, okay, plus general secretary, okay, propose and debate, all right, law, okay, nominated minister, okay. I hope you guys can see that in full. You carry it up a bit. Government ministers, okay, nominates ministers, okay. It's showing you the arrows of how it works. Okay, y'all can take a screenshot of that, man. Y'all can take a screenshot of that. The proposed system of governance. This is the geographical representation of the UIC's nonpartisan republic. Yeah. Man, that's what I'm talking about, man. Yes, Lord. Hallelujah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. All right, so do remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you're not yet a member, we're on the road to monetization, so I need your help. If you came this far watching the video, and salute to you, man. That's what I'm talking about.